Let's go, family. Let's make things happen. What's up? It's your man, DeAndre Saxon. This is the number one channel for mindset coaches and performance coaches who want to scale their business to the next level. I'm going to tell you exactly how I recruited an army of affiliates to sell over $500,000 worth of my coaching program. So let's hop straight into it. Feeling good? I'm feeling good, by the way. I'm feeling amazing. So check this out. As you guys know, probably by now, I made over 7 figures coaching and selling Bob Proctor's mindset program between 2020 to 2022 until he passed away. So, how did I actually get an army of affiliates to sell over $500,000 worth of my coaching program that I had? So the way the opportunity worked with Bob Proctor, think of it, it was like a franchise. So I had to pay Bob Proctor $30,000 to get certified, right? That was like my certification to use his name and use the branding. Think of it like a franchise fee. And then anytime I enrolled a client, I would have to pay him about $900, which is like a license fee. But I got to charge $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, $25,000, and I would keep the rest of the money. But I had to do my own marketing, get my own clients, do my own payment processing. The only thing that they gave me was a program to fulfill. I had to do everything else, but at least I had leverage. I had the ability to use the Bob Proctor name, and I had something to teach. I didn't have to create my own program, which allowed me to scale to 0 to 100 grand. And literally, if we really think about it, like I say, 0 to 100 grand in 60 days. But from the moment I collected my first payment to like 100 grand, it was like 14 days. Like it just blew up because of affiliates. All right. So let's talk about it. So you have to know that context so you know what's going on here. So how did I recruit them? So the way that I actually built my 7-figure business was within a network marketing company. So I'm not a network marketer and I don't promote network marketing, but my clients were network marketers. All right. So here's the key here. So what I would do was I would give free value. I would jump on a call with a big network marketer. The way it started was with a guy named Jason Stone. So you may know him as Millionaire Mentor on Instagram. At the time he had 7 million followers, but he was my personal friend in Miami. So when I started with Bob Proctor, I was only maybe 2-3 weeks into working with Bob, and I made a call to Jason. I said, Jason, can I train your network marketing team for free in exchange? Can you give me, like, if I get a client from it, I'll give you a kickback or something. I don't remember what the deal was. I just wanted to get practice. And I think I didn't even ask for any deals. I didn't make any offers or anything. I just wanted to get practice. But lo and behold, I didn't know that this was going to change my life. So wait till we get to the point where Nano comes in. And when Nano comes in, I make 100 grand in 14 days. So I'm working here with Jason, right? And I'm just getting started with Bob, and I'm doing these Zoom calls. So what I would do on this Zoom call is I would train his team with a Bob Proctor lesson from the program. And I would do it just for free, an hour Zoom call. And there might only be 20 people, 30 people, because he just started this network marketing company. He's already successful, and he's just doing it for passive income. But to me, it means the world because I'm getting to practice. I'm getting, a couple followers here and there. And that was the biggest thing. I wasn't even going into it thinking I was going to get clients. I just wanted to serve him for free and see what could happen from it. And I did that consistently, one call a week, week after week, for about a month. And nothing happened. I didn't get any clients. I'm investing hours into prepping for the call, doing the call, and I might get a couple followers from it, but nothing really happened until something completely changed. In the next video, I'll talk about how I actually manifested this guy, but his name was Neno. Okay. And this guy, he reached out to me. I'm doing sales calls here and there from a couple people. I think I did like maybe 3 sales calls throughout the month working with Jason. And these guys and these people keep saying, Neno, have you heard of Neno? You should talk to Neno. I'm like, what the hell's a Neno? I thought it was like a fish. Right. And so randomly, I kid you not, I get off a sales call. This girl's like, you got to work with Neno. A couple minutes later, I get a DM from this guy named Neno. He's like, yo, DeAndre, what's going on? I heard you're doing these free calls with Bob Proctor. Let's hop on a call. I want to reach out to you. And he looks like a big network marketer. He's the biggest guy. I didn't know who he was, but because he knew Jason and he heard of the good things I was doing for Jason and his team, giving value in advance, we hop on a call. And I'm talking to this guy, Neno. He's like, yeah, bro, I love what you're doing with your team. Why don't you come on my organization and do a Zoom call with my people? I was like, great. Well, how many people will be on the call? He's like, 1,000. I said, 1,000, boy. I only had like 30 people on the last call. He's like, dude, well, yeah, come on the podcast, do your thing, do the same thing you're doing for his organization, and come on the call. that would change my life forever. That initial call I had with Nena was a Friday, and we scheduled to have our Zoom call on a Monday. So I'm prepared. Here I am. I'm thinking I'm doing the same thing as Jason Stone, hopping on a Zoom call, doing a free training. But here was the biggest difference was that at this call, over 1,200 people joined the call. And I did the same exact thing that I was doing with Jason Stone. But the difference now was I had more people. And so when I opened up my calendar at the end, I said, hey guys, if you want to work with me, go ahead. And the energy was absolutely crazy, as you can imagine, a Zoom call with that many people on it. I opened up my calendar, and guys, I had 300 people book an appointment on my calendar in 15 freaking minutes. It was absolutely insane. Now, the greatest thing about it was because I had the credibility of this network marketer and the credibility of Bob Proctor, it just blew up overnight. And so I was able to capture their phone numbers, their email address. So anytime my calendar booked up for 3 months, I'm talking about 10 appointments a day for 3 months straight. I kid you not. And anytime I wanted to rebook my calendar, I would just send it a text and it'd book out again for another month. It was absolutely insane. But what started happening was I literally collected from zero, from the first moment I did that call with Neno to the moment that I collected my first 100 grand was about 14 days. And from that day, I collected like $500,000 in like 2 months, 3 months. It was absolutely insane. But I kept going with it. Here's what I started to notice about, and I know you're thinking, what's it have to do with affiliates? Trust me, this is all starting to come together. I didn't know what I was doing, but looking back in hindsight, I saw how it exploded and how I will implement this now in my next business. So I'm working with these network marketers, and they're asking me to come on the call, and this girl and this. Then I got introduced to another company, and I'm just all over the place doing these free calls, and my income is exploding. I'm adding value. But then what started happening was these network marketers, they were helping me out so much, changing my life. I said, you know what? What if I pay you for your help? And they didn't even ask. I would just do it. And so I said, I'll pay you $1,000 for every person that come in. And so I would go on a Zoom call, and boom, I was wiring 5K, 10K, 15K, 20K checks to these people that were bringing on my team. I started bringing in me clients because all they had to do was invite me to the call, and then they would get paid from it, right? And I did that literally for 2 years, and it got so big to the point that I had affiliates. To this day, I don't even call them affiliates. I use it for this video, but really I call them like my coaches, my inner circle, my coaches corner is what we called it. I had top affiliates. I ended up paying over 6 figures per year in payouts because of how many affiliates they were bringing, because they were top network marketers in their company. And then I trained them on how to actually sell my program, not on a sales call, but what to say and what not to say, and how to get somebody in a call with me, and how to get people over. And I would have these private trainings with these affiliates that were in network marketing, and they had the people already. All I had to do was share the links. They would bring the people. Sometimes it got so to the point that they would close their own deals, and I would open up my phone and I would see that 10K, 20K would come in because I started to train them on how to sell the program. So I know it was over $500,000 for sure. But even though I did over $1.2 million in my first 18 months working with Bob Proctor, a lot of it came because of working with affiliates, and it completely changed my life. Now, that was a good side, and I'm thinking, how can I implement that now into my next business? But here's the downside before you leave. Don't leave the video yet. The biggest difference that changed my life was that I never learned how to get cold traffic outside of that network marketing company. I was so like focused, and I was doing the work, and I was a one-man operator. I was doing the marketing and doing the sales calls and doing the clients and doing the content. I did everything. I never once thought that I should probably hire somebody or get some help or scale. And that's why I have my new coaching offer, High Ticket Hero, because I never learned the business side. I was good at the coaching, the mindset, and I did basics. Obviously, I knew how to do sales calls, and I scaled, but I did it as a one-man operator. I never learned, and I hired hundreds of grand worth of coaches and webinar people and Facebook ads people, and we never figured out how to actually scale. And now that I spent a year and a half after I left working with Bob Proctor when he passed away to figure out what the heck I needed to do to scale that business. And so I never learned how to run cold traffic, how to run ads, how to get people outside of that network marketing company. So when they started to work with a Tony Robbins coach, or they were tired of hearing Bob Proctor because they were seeing it for 6 months, they kind of threw me to the side, which is totally fine, because that was my fault, because I never learned how to get clients outside of that network marketing company, but most importantly, outside of my warm market. And so those were things that happened that ended up imploding the business, and it just didn't work out. So now, as I go into this next level of my business, that's some of the things I focus on. I know how to do the back end, from getting a client, selling, and then fulfilling. I never learned how to do cold traffic. So I've dedicated the last this last coming months hiring coaches, teaching me how to actually get cold traffic and convert and build a client acquisition system that's sustainable. Because even though affiliates are great and you can blow up your business, which I recommend you do, and I'll be doing it as well and teaching it, you got to be able to get into the cold market as well. Recruit affiliates, but also be able to sell to the cold market. And so that's exactly the kind of things that I teach in my High Ticket Hero program. So if you like content like this, go ahead and subscribe below. If you want help scaling your mindset coaching business to the next level and not having the mistakes that I had that basically imploded my business, I now teach those mindset coaches how to scale their business sustainably, predictably, not only with cold traffic using Instagram and YouTube, but also how to fulfill that program in a scalable way so that you can also earn 7 figures in your mindset and performance-based coaching business. Without further ado, thank you so much for my story time. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.